Good evening. A serious case review published today says a toddler's death may have been avoided had health and social workers properly understood the risks he faced at home. Daniel Jones died in May after swallowing heroin. His parents have both since been jailed. Callum Watkinson reports.
A cannabis farm in the attic, hypodermic needles in the bedside drawers. No place for a toddler, but this is where 23-month-old Daniel Jones lived and died after swallowing a bag of his father's heroin. Simon Jones was jailed for manslaughter in July. Daniel's mother, Emma Bradburn, also jailed for causing or allowing the toddler's death. But a serious case review published today says that given the level of drug use that different agencies knew was going on here at the family home, much more could and should have been done to protect this little boy. Daniel was the subject of a child in need plan from birth, but the report says there do not appear to have been any significant changes effected by it over the almost 2 years that it had been in place. The report says there was too much attention paid to the parents' drug problems, not enough to the effect those problems had on their son. There is little apparent focus, it says, on the child's experience of day-to-day life or the way his needs are being met. And there was not enough communication between agencies. When Emma Bradburn asked her GP for morphine, there is no indication, says the report, of any communication between the parents' addiction workers or with the GP, all of which would have been appropriate. This is not a story of abuse or even of neglect, but of two addicts who put drugs before their duties as parents, and of social services who didn't see the dangers in that.
Daniel was a happy child by all accounts. Nobody had direct concerns about him. He was developing well. There was nothing that worried doctors, nurses, drug and alcohol workers. Everybody, I think, was almost charmed by the situation. They felt all was well. And they didn't see that with a bit more challenge, perhaps we could have done better in giving better advice to the family. Clearly, we're extremely sorry about what has happened.
Among its 44 recommendations, the report says that when treating addicts, drug workers should be much more mindful of the children in their care. Callum Watkinson, ITV News, Wolverhampton.
A teacher's been jailed for more than 3.5 years for sexually abusing boys in his care. Philip Evans, a music teacher at King Edward's School in Edgbaston, abused pupils and filmed them in the changing rooms. He had more than 300,000 indecent images of children. A Birmingham-based care company which looks after more than 100 people in their homes has gone into administration. Care People, which is based in Spark Hill, gave staff letters explaining they'll lose their jobs tonight without being paid. A manager at the care firm said between 50 and 60 people will be going. Birmingham City Council says people previously in the firm's care will be looked after. Bosses at the company have refused to comment.
They just ring me and say that you haven't got a job, which is today. So all of us meet up in here. The next thing is, this is what they gave us, that we haven't got no money this Christmas.
As far as I'm concerned, we were told about 1 o'clock we haven't got any more jobs. We haven't got no money for Christmas, we've got no money to buy our presents for our family, no explanation. All we've received is just a letter to say we haven't got no job from today, and that's it.
I have council house rent, I have lots of rent arrears. It's not right. I am tired of this. I have no money to feed my kids or nothing.
A Midlands football club with a famous history has asked fans to help raise £35,000 to rescue it from financial disaster. Hereford United's money problems have again reached crisis point and they need help to pay the players' wages. James Clark reports.
1972, a non-league Hereford United shocked the footballing world with victory over top-flight Newcastle in the third round of the FA Cup. Ronnie Radford's equaliser in the mud quickly became the stuff of footballing folklore. Fast forward over 4 decades and the club, not for the first time, is fighting for survival, struggling on the pitch as well as off it. They've missed their last payment to Revenue and Customs and not paid this month's wages. Today the players were in training ahead of a busy Christmas period. The club has asked the fans to help bail them out in the short term by raising £35,000 through donations and paying extra at the turnstiles over the Christmas period.
We're losing this £30,000 a month, and we've covered it, and we're quite honestly getting to a point as directors. We've been quite open. We've put a fair sum of money in the last 2 or 3 years. The club's still been relegated. We've still found some more money, and we've been quite open for about 12 months saying, you know, we don't plan to keep doing this.
Perhaps if local people from Hereford, not just season holders, help support the football club, it would be a good idea. I'd definitely give a £10 to help them out.
It's worrying, but once you get down into this football conference, you get abandoned by the Football League, trying to find the difference between 700,000-800,000 in the summer months to 48,000 or whatever it is in this conference. It's very, very difficult, and there's loads of other clubs in the same position as us. Half the conference is now made up of ex-Football League clubs, and I think a lot of them are in the same boat.
The plight of Hereford United is the latest sporting blow to the city after the racecourse closed in 2012. One ray of light for the football club was victory over Bournemouth for the under-18s last night in the FA Youth Cup. A fourth-round tie against Manchester City awaits, but with one eye on the future and memories of the past, fans will be hoping they can ride out the problems of the present.
We've got a situation where they may not be here on a Saturday afternoon, but we know Hereford United, with all its history, has got a good fan base. We just can't get them through the gate at 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
James Clark, ITV News.
Plans for a new Coventry City Stadium have been unveiled today. The artist's impressions show a curving design which would have seating for 12,500 fans, eventually increasing to a maximum of 23,000. Time now for a look at the weather with Lucy.
It could be cool in Birmingham, but somewhere in the world, the sun is shining. ITV Central Weather, sponsored by Turkish Airlines.
Hello, well, it looks like the unsettled weather will continue as we head through this weekend, mixed in with some decent spells of sunshine as well. But certainly we've seen some rain tonight. Here it is on the radar, making its way eastwards, a deep area of low pressure pushing it through our region, and windy conditions as well. Now gradually that will clear away by the early hours of this morning. We'll be left with a frost-free night, mostly dry, and that sets us up for a chilly but bright start to the day tomorrow. A few showers rolling in by tomorrow afternoon, but temperatures hitting double figures, but it will still be fairly breezy. Have a lovely weekend. See you later.
ITV Central Weather, sponsored by Turkish Airlines.
That's all from us tonight. Don't forget to check the website for updates, but from us all here, have a lovely weekend.